Hi, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Kat Hansen, your host. Hi everyone, it's me, Kat. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about shapeshifters. And I wanted to do this because I had a request from a viewer who wanted to learn a little bit more about shapeshifters, human shapeshifters. A lot of people don't believe that shapeshifting is possible, and I'm here to tell you that it is. It's very much a possibility. It's a reality. Being able to shapeshift involves accepting that everyone's reality is different. And by that I mean every single human being has their own perception of reality. And none of us are 100% the same. So each of us perceives our reality a little differently. Now, in the northern continent here, the Native Americans, all the way up to Alaska, where the Inuit are, all the way down to south and central Peru, all believe and have forms of shape-shifting. And it's totally accepted in their cultures. And the reason that it's accepted is because they understand that to be able to shapeshift, you have to perceive your reality a different way that allows you to shapeshift. And I'm not talking shapeshifting in your mind, okay? Because every culture that believes in shapeshifting the world over will tell you it's not a dream. Okay, they actually physically take on a different form when they shapeshift. And I've shown pictures of one that I worked with, of a man that I worked with, and he was very sick at the time, and he preferred to stay in his shifted form instead of remaining human because it took less energy. It was a smaller body, it was a lighter body than his human body, which is heavier. Okay? So the way that people go about shape-shifting is really kind of unique. To be able to shape-shift, you have to, like I said, be able to physically perceive your reality, and in that reality is the ability to change your physical form. Now, a lot of people are going to say, that's crazy, that's impossible to do. Well, actually, it's not. I'm going to post up some links on this video, on the page, under the video here. It talks about being able to change cellular form. Yeah, pretty amazing, huh? So all that is a person using their mind to change their cellular form. Once the cellular form has begun to take on a different shape, the rest of the cells will follow. And that means bones, skin, hair, eyes, etc. It's really a fascinating subject because people who have dealt with shapeshifters will know what I'm talking about when I say you look at that shape that they've assumed and you know it's a wolf, you know it's a bear, you know. There's just no stopping in your brain. You can, because you've seen that form shift. Okay, it's not the person standing there in front of you pretending to be a shapeshifter. It is, in fact, a person who has shifted his shape. Okay? It's amazing to watch. But at the same time, it is quite frightening because you realize that what you are seeing looks like magic, but it's not. It's a form of control. It reminds me of the gurus in India, the Hindi gurus, in that they are able to contort their bodies. They are able to do amazing feats by telling themselves and stepping into that reality that is their reality. So to them, there is no impossibility. And it's interesting to speak to them because all of them have the same mentality. They all say that with your brain, you are able to control your body, which is a machine, to the extent that you can make that machine do what you want it to do. Okay? So it's not that hard. If we don't allow our thoughts to become open, then we only end up seeing the world through a limited perspective, and that's of our own experiences. And then we start to believe certain prejudice and we pass judgments, on people. And that's something that is really unacceptable because we don't want to do that. We want to be able to have free will, free thought, and it's very important that we're able to do that. I'm going to post up a link on how to shapeshift, how to prepare yourself mentally. And I want people to know that despite what this link has to say about being able to do it immediately, that's not the case. It's going to take you a good 6 months to a year to be able to do the thing that you want to do here, to shift in whatever animal, unless you have a natural ability or a special ability to be able to use these skills immediately. So I just want to say that people, when they are shown pictures of shapeshifters, they always say, oh no, that can't be real. Well, remember what I told you before. Your brain is not your friend. It will do anything it can to keep you on a safe path to reality. It doesn't care that you just experienced seeing a man turn into a wolf. It doesn't care about that. All it cares about is keeping you safe and sane. So it's going to judge it and say, nope, that's definitely one of those things that can make somebody lose their mind. So we're going to tell them that they just saw a giant German Shepherd walking on its hind legs, which its owner taught it to do. Because people can teach dogs to walk on their hind legs. Yeah, that's what we're going to tell them. And you will believe this because this is your brain. Why would your brain want to hurt you? It's not hurting you. It's protecting you. It's making sure that you understand that something just happened out of your normal reality. It's out of the norm for you and your experiences. And the only way that your brain can think to keep you safe is to lie to you. And your brain justifies that because its overall job is to keep you alive. So if it has to lie to you to make you stay alive, then that's what it's going to do. So you have to get past that point before you can shift into a new shape. I know it sounds hard, and it is. That's why people don't do it everywhere. You don't see everybody doing it. It's one of those talents that you have to build upon and continuously study to make sure that once you do attain that ability, you don't lose it. Unless, of course, you want to lose it and you only wanted to shapeshift one time. I mean, that's fine. But I'm just saying, for the most part, people's brains will not accept this. And I'm fully expecting comments to say, oh, you're so full of it. That's fine. Unless you have witnessed this yourself, it is a very natural response to what I'm talking about, okay? It is just in the realm of fantasy, or at least that's what we have been taught our whole lives. But there are those of us who have been raised to accept what our eyes see and what our hearts know and believe to be truth. So that is what we do. Okay, I kind of done with that topic. I think I've pretty much spoken enough about it. I wanted to also talk about some other native beings, indigenous beings that are out there, and these have been around for thousands of years. Like I said before, when I started this channel, it's about exposing the cryptids out there that have remained hidden. People knew that we had these cryptids living alongside of us, and most people didn't want to deal with them. They figured if they didn't, well, what's the saying? Saying says, out of sight, out of mind. So that's kind of what happened. They pushed them out of our sight, and we left them in the forest while we became citizens in our societies. So it's kind of hard for most people to understand, but if you see one of these cryptids, it's a completely different situation then. It's going to turn around, and your brain's going to either A, not allow you to see it because you already have a hard time perceiving your reality, or B, it is going to allow you to see it, and once that happens, your brain can either acknowledge or deny. And if it denies, that's fine. You have to get used to that. I'm not really sure, because I run into so many people that are like that, that don't believe, and then the reality is shaken, and they take a moment and back up and take a breath, and you think, cool, you saw something, now be open to the experience and accept and investigate. And instead, they do not. Okay? While I'm talking on this subject of shapeshifters, I want to talk a little bit about another type of being that's out there, and they're called Kalupaliks. And Kalupaliks are very strange beings. They live in water. You can call them dryads, hamadryads. I'm not sure which one it is. They're like a fairy. These guys hum. They make a real interesting humming sound. And if you hear a strange humming sound that you're not familiar with and you're in the woods, more than likely it's a kalupalik. They live in the streams and the rivers. And basically what they do is the humming is very pleasant. And it will cause small children that are in the area to wander over to the stream or the creek or the river or whatever. And that is when they are taken. Now, I really want to go into this because there's a book out there, a couple books that were written and about children going missing, and a good bunch of them were around streams, rivers, creeks. And when I heard about this and it was brought to me, by the person writing the book, I told him it's not Steyama, it's not Bigfoot. They're not stealing people. That's not it. It's something else. And we had this discussion about it, and he didn't want to accept that there could be something else out there that would go after the children and would go after an adult for that matter. It's scary to think that there are beings out there that we have no control over, and to me, it's sad because people don't want to accept that. But the fact of the matter is, if you go back and look in the Native American history of the United States of America, you're going to find that every one of these tribes, even the ones who lived in the Southwest, in the desert, had a story about the kalupaliks. They are a type of being that is literally like a Pied Piper, only they hum, and they hit that vibrational note that goes right through us, and as children, it goes right to that hypothalamus, where we want, it sits against and it vibrates and causes children to fall asleep. It'll cause you to fall asleep as well, and it's been studied and they've figured out, that's what it does. So these beings use this as a way to get the children to come to them, or the other human father, mother, son, whoever is in the area. They do this because it's the simplest method for them to get food. They're laying a trap. And yes, they are very intelligent. They're about, they range in height, I want to say from 5 foot to almost 5'7", somewhere in there. They've got pretty good build, and they live in these waters and by these waters of these streams. And I need people to understand this, because I've had many people asking me, well, what do you think it is that took all those people in those books? And when I start to tell them, they want to believe that it's Sasquatch. And I'm not going to say it's not, all of it's not. There could be 1 or 2 here that have been taken. But predominantly it's the Kalupaliks that are doing it. You know, and people need to understand that there are more than one type of villain out there in the forest. And be extra wary and extra careful. That's what I'm saying. So I just want everybody to be prepared. Now, Kalupaliks, if you see them, it's amazing. Because they are masters of camouflage. And they use moss and algae and slime and mud and rocks. They just have it so that they coat themselves in this and they wait for their prey to come to them. You know, and that's really kind of scary, but that's what they do. So they're waiting, and they've got a humanoid shape, you know, with the long hair. So once that happens, the mind of a human says, oh, there's another human there. That must be what I'm hearing. They're calling me. And they just keep going forward to their destiny, which sometimes is death. So I just want everyone to be prepared for what is out there. And I guess that'll be what I have to say for today. I look forward to you guys texting me and emailing me here and telling me what you need me to talk about. I did want to make a note here too that I had to moderate my comments because I had 3 trolls from the Bigfoot forum come over here and just go crazy posting crazy stuff. So it's just so hate-filled that I just prefer not to have it on my channel. It's negative. So I deleted the comments and banned the people. But knowing how they work over there, it's Bigfoot evidence, or that's the one, Bigfoot evidence. They're relentless, totally relentless. So I'm expecting more. So what I've done is I have to moderate every comment that comes in, and I would rather do that than have a 12-inch rant on my page, in my YouTube here. I mean, it was just so depressing to read it. These people are crazy talking about prison camps here in America. They want people in prison camps, and they don't want any diversification. They want it totally white, and it was just hate-filled. And I can't allow that on my page or even around me. So I'm really sorry, you guys, but I have to start moderating comments, so you won't see your comment posted right away when you post it. So that's about it. I wanted to let everybody know that. And I'm going to hop off here and make another video for us. So I want you all to have a super good weekend. Get some rest, get relaxed, lots of smiles and lots of hugs. That's what I'm wishing for you. And I will wish you all a good day until the next video. This is me, Kat, signing out. Thanks. Bye.